Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Madcapper and this is another video on Raid Shadow Legends. Today we are going to go over the fourth and final auto 20 spider composition or strategy, and that is of HP burn. I do want to make note that there are many ways and many different hybrid ways to get past the spider 20. You can use little bits and pieces from each of the four compositions that we've shown you in order to achieve the ultimate goal, which is to have an auto spider 20 team. If you want any help at all, please find one of the many brilliant minds that both stream and use YouTube videos. All of the great talents that you know of, the Hell Hades, the Chosens, the Verdes, the Murder Inks, the Farting Cows, I can go on and on. We all have different ways of doing this. We all have different champions, and therefore we've had different setups to be able to get through Spider 20. And of course, like I did in my previous 3 videos, if you haven't seen this one, I want to remind you of the #1 way that you can improve your Spider 20 times, consistency, and levels immediately without even touching foot in an artifact dungeon or even leveling a single artifact. And that is through the Great Hall. The Great Hall gives you a unique ability to increase the stats that are most specifically important for the spider dungeon without having to worry about getting items that you need from the spider dungeon. The most notable is of course accuracy. Accuracy banners, especially early on, are the difference maker between 140 and 200 accuracy, and it is very hard to get these banners for specific champions early on before you really get a good breadth of farming in, and you don't want to get a good breadth of farming in until you get through the spider 20 and are able to consistently auto it. I understand. So my tell for you is, no matter where you are with the spider or anywhere in your dungeons, use all your coins. You see here I'm at 0 because I do not allow my arena tokens to get to 10 anymore if I can all help it, because that, and I wish I would have done that way sooner, this is where you're going to see improvement. My spider times improved immensely simply by getting accuracy, right? Getting force affinity accuracy for my Rosum when I was using him for defense down weekend. You getting accuracy for Void so that my Cold Hearts could do the turn meter reduction. On magic affinity so that my Royal Guards, when I needed them to, could add their slow, their A3, I can't remember what it's called, but these are all things that are going to help you improve your times and your speeds and your consistency in the spider, and probably all dungeons, of course, not just the arena. So keep in mind, this is a good place to focus your attention. Accuracy, crit damage, those are the critical pieces that are going to help you, but don't neglect these ones here. They also can be the difference maker if you're having problems getting that Cold Heart to that certain HP. Guess what? Right here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10% HP, you can get it relatively easily just from farming the arena. Use your tokens every day, and that's going to help you out immensely, okay? So, the final composition now, I also want to let you know, this is my least... not least favorite, but least mastered comp, I guess is the best way to put it. I have used a Venus on my alt account, on my free-to-play account, for a long time. It is one of the 2 champions that I pulled very early on along with Martyr, and so those 2 have been a duo all the way through Spider, and I can auto Spider 20 with about an 80% win rate right now. Same thing on that account. I'm working on my arena, on my Great Hall, so that I can get their consistency up through better damage and better accuracy. But and that comp, I'm 100% certain would be 100% or as close to 100% as I can get if I just worked on that Great Hall a little bit better. And so I'm not employing that same technique here because that one's more of a hybrid. And what I tried here is I tried to create something more realistic to what you would have if you had an HP burn champion. Gallic's Ultimate Gallic is one that I know a lot of people have strats for. Visit Verdes' YouTube channel if you want to see more on an Ultimate Gallic guide and composition that works perfectly for the spider. Ignatius, I believe one of Chosen's first videos is of an Ignatius Spider 20. I could be wrong on that, but I seem to recall he had for Ignatius. Those are great ones, but I have a Venus that I pulled just in the recent 10 times. I've got her ready to go, so we're going to use that. When we get to Spider 20 here, I've already got the comp going. I tried to pick champions that would allow the HP burn to do the most damage. I will say that you're typically still going to need or want a damage dealing nuker on your team. The reason why I'm using Cold Heart is quite simple, because on auto, Venus prioritizes her defense down and weaken, and therefore she needs her second turn to put HP burn. And if you do not manipulate turn meter, you're gonna have issues with getting that HP burn strat to work on the first kind of cycle. It takes 2 cycles with this comp. I'm using Thenasil as my weak affinity tank, and I brought in a couple of really good tanks, really good solid champions that can help keep him alive long enough to do the damage. And that's kind of what I've gone with this. I'm sure there's 1,000 different possibilities, and I'm sure there's a hell of a lot more people out there that are way better with this comp than me. But all I wanted to do is make sure I got the essentials here. That was my HP burn. By the way, HP burn ignores defense. So even though I do have a defense down and weaken, you do not need it for this comp. And I think that's a key piece to know, that even though I'm bringing Cold Heart in, and because there's a defense down weaken, it's going to hit hard. But if you have an Ignatius in this position, he's still going to burn. He's still going to do the same damage. It is a percentage-based damage, irregardless. I hate that word. It doesn't exist. Regardless of whether there's defense down or weaken, because it ignores defense completely and is a percentage-based damage stat, much like poison. The other thing is Venus is nice, where Ignatius doesn't have, is that because the spider's going to take turns, she's going to be putting some poisons on. So let's just run this, and I'll show you kind of what I kind of figured out to work. I'm sure there's lots of HP burn strats out there. I can say it 1,000 times. There's so many smart people who play this game and probably have a really good comp if you have a defense down weakened champion. What we're showing here is that we're setting it up. We're getting the weak affinity tank here to tank the damage. Now we've reduced that turn meter, and we've protected. We put on ally protect. We've got defense up. We've got the huge shield. And now look at those ticks go. Those HP burn ticks are great. I actually had to do this a couple times because I was damaging the spiders too quickly, and that's the one thing you have to worry about, especially on those early levels. If you do too much damage on those early levels, you're not going to get enough ticks to be able to survive the cycle. Ooh, that was that's why that ally protect is so great. That would have absolutely killed anyone if he would have shot his first turn there without ally protect. Our weak affinity tank would have been dead. So good thing that he was there, right? And again, here's the second cycle, and you're gonna watch as the spiderlings take their turns. All we got to do is have that survivability, and bam, that damage just ticks down, ticks down. He might die, and I don't think that's even a problem here. I think the damage has been done. It's probably irreversible for the spider. He's gonna kill him. That's not a problem to me. I could have brought like a arbiter or someone to reduce, but I wasn't really worried about it. And you see there, yes, the Cold Heart did do a lot of damage, but most of the damage came from our Venus. 6 million damage, and that was from those ticks. You saw every time that tick hit, the damage was dealt. So this comp is very simple. The first thing you need is an HP burn champion. I hope that goes without saying. You do need some sort of turn meter manipulation to make this most effective if you're using Venus. I believe Ignatius uses his burn first. I can't confirm. I don't have Ignatius. I would have preferred using him in this comp because I think he's the more common champion people use when they use HP burn. Same with Ultimate Gallic. The key to Ultimate Gallic is that he needs attack up to use his HP burn. So you just want to maybe bring in an Arbiter or bring in Frostbringer would probably work. Any sort of champion that's going to do his attack up. Then you've got your tank, right? I'm using Thenasil. He's got like 80k HP. He's got a self-heal. I bring in Miscreated Monster and Steadfast to keep him alive. And then the Cold Heart is my turn meter reducer. Again, if you have Ignatius, this is probably actually going to be a little bit easier because even though the Cold Heart will do much less damage, the spiderlings will live longer and therefore they will do more. They will actually get both cycles of HP burn through them, which is something that I can't do because we just do too much damage with this comp. It's a very simple video. It's 10 minutes long. I think we've already talked ad nauseum about all the different things you want. You've already seen the stats of most of these from the previous 3 videos. So the big thing here is just, HP burn, survivability, and turn meter manipulation. And hopefully there's some good luck to you in the future running Spider 20. What is next? Well, I tell you, I'm working on a few different things. I'm working on an Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss with 0 poison. I am at about 18 million keys. Unfortunately, the little bug that's been going on since the patch has put a little wrench into that, because I think I have a 20 million key, which I will show you as soon as I can confirm that I have 20 million on it. It is not a free-to-play friendly comp, but hey, you know what? It's one that you can probably put together if you have been spending money, and most certainly if you've been fusing champions. That's a little hint as to who might be in that composition. Thenisil's one of them. And the other unique piece of that comp, because I wanted to push the limits of my gear a little bit further than I could with just lifesteal gear, I decided to go without lifesteal gear. So I have champions in there specifically to negate the need for lifesteal gear as long as possible. I would love to be able to have the lifesteal gear on it too, because I think absolutely with lifesteal gear, this comp would do 25 million easy and be a 3-key comp. But unfortunately, because I can't get that lifesteal or the proper lifesteal on all 5 of them and still do the damage I want, I'm going without lifesteal on any of them. And then you can just make the decision yourself. Do I put some, all, who knows, on the lifesteal? Also, I am still looking at different ways to make Nightmare Clan Boss fun, different compositions using easy champs that are, if not free to play, at least free to play friendly. And finally, we're going to probably do another arena video. It's been a while since I've done one, and I'd like to jump in as a late game player, not an end game player, and just show you kind of some of the different things I do in the arena to try to win. I will use them with both. I have some champs I use, Rotos I use all the time, but we'll take them out. We'll show you some other champs I use and some other ways I try to trick myself around when the other team is faster. And that's the biggest thing that you have to deal with, is what do you do when the other team's faster? All right, thank you for joining the channel. Finally, this is the last video for Spider 20. I hope one of these videos helps you. Feel free to get a hold of me on Discord if you have any questions at all about any of the compositions you've seen, or if there's anything you'd like me to help you with. I am more than happy to give you a hand. Be safe out there, be kind to one another, practice social distancing. Let's get over this hump. I want everyone to be well aware of the fact that we're probably not going to get back to normal until next year. I think a lot of people don't realize that, or don't want to realize that, but the fact is, until we have a vaccine to prevent this virus, there's going to be some level of what we are experiencing now the entire time. It will get easier. We will break it open a bit at some point when we get over the hump. I'm sure some of the restrictions will lessen, but we still have to be mindful of the fact that we do not have a cure for this virus, and we do not have a prevention for this virus. And until we do, we're in for the long haul. But as a community, as a people, I believe that we can get through it. So thank you for everything you guys have been doing for people like myself working in pharmacies and healthcare professionals, especially retail workers in groceries, restaurants that are keeping things going so that we can have some level of normalcy in our day-to-day lives. Thank you and have a good evening, and see you in the next video.